Typically, farmers use Operation Health programs to ensure the health and welfare of their livestock. In the media, farmers often face backlash from animal activist groups like PETA or the Compassion for World Farming groups that make exaggerated claims to the media that hurt the image of farming and agriculture. Farmers use Operation Health programs to prevent illness and disease. Through genomic technology, testing and weeding out the carriers of harmful diseases ensures a life free from predisposed issues for these animals. Farmers also use detailed record keeping and animal identification for easy traceability. Furthermore, they also have plans in place for isolation and quarantine if outbreaks occur to ensure the spread is stopped and that the livestock is kept healthy and safe. All of these measures go into place for the welfare of the animals and to keep businesses running safely. Farmers do prioritize the health and welfare of livestock, and slander in the press from groups mentioned only damage the farmer's reputation and spread false information.
Animal welfare controversies in the pop press often go just beyond public outrage and goes further to influence things like law, politics, and markets for locals. For example, California's Proposition 12 has led to federal lawsuits and congressional debate, showing how state level animal welfare laws can create national political conflict over states' rights and economic costs for producers. But in other countries like Australia and the UK, investigative journalism and whistleblower reports have exposed welfare violations and pushed governments to reconsider oversight and enforcement policies. These cases demonstrate how media coverage can highlight weaknesses in existing regulations and bring animal welfare into broader public policy conversation. At the same time, reporting on misleading labels and humane washing has made consumers more skeptical of terms like cage-free or ethically raised. But with this, press and public opinion of welfare issues can reshape both regulatory decisions and consumer behavior by increasing public pressure on industry and policymakers.
The problem of cost of food versus ethics in animal welfare is about a balance between keeping food like meat, dairy, and eggs affordable and treating farm animals in a humane way. Normal and large-scale farming systems help keep the prices low because they produce food efficiently, but in doing so, they use small, confined spaces and methods that raise concerns about how the animals are treated. When farmers try to improve the living conditions, give animals more space, and improve transportation, it usually costs more money. The higher the costs are to the producer, the higher the prices are at the grocery store. From a scientific point of view, people would like to believe that animals should be treated correctly, but animal welfare is not only about what is right or wrong, but also about how much it would affect the price. Researchers look at animal health, living conditions, and production methods to see how improvements will affect the overall expenses of the operation. They also study whether the consumers are willing to pay more for the food that comes from farms with better animal treatment. Overall, the debate comes down to how to balance affordable food with doing what's right for the animals.
In the popular press, farm animal welfare is often presented as a growing public concern. Media outlets such as the Washington Post and the National Radio frequently report on consumer pressure that has pushed major retailers and restaurant chains to adopt cage-free egg policies and group housing for sows. While these changes are framed as ethical progress, controversy remains over whether higher welfare standards significantly increase food prices or create financial strain for farmers. From a scientific perspective, animal welfare is guided by the 5 Freedoms framework, which emphasizes freedom from hunger, discomfort, pain, fear, and the ability to express natural behaviors. Organizations like the American Veterinary Medical Association and the World Organization for Animal Health support these science-based welfare standards. Research shows that improved welfare can enhance animal health and productivity, but experts continue debating how to balance ideal welfare conditions and economic efficiency.
In a world where our everyday opinions and views are dominated by social media, the same is often true for our opinions about the animal production industry. The article by Medium highlights the fact that social media expands the public's access to information about proper animal care, behavior, and ethical treatment. The article also outlines the counterargument that social media can also lead to misconceptions about what is truly going on in the industry. However, social media ultimately allows producers, experts, veterinarians, etc., to directly refute these false claims and provide explanations on the truths within the animal production industry. Lastly, the article explains that responsible digital engagement is presented as a key part in improving public understanding of animal welfare. The second resource, published by Cornell University, focuses on science-based best management practices for producers. It briefly highlights the importance of biosecurity and proper nutrition, but the article's main focus is on proper facility design and handling practices. Through the use of technology such as squeeze chutes, producers are able to limit the amount of stress the animals face, as well as limiting possible injury to the livestock.